Anthony Harwig here with a season preview on the basketball floor. We're in McDonald with the boys' head coach, James Franceschelli. Coach, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about your program that I know you love so much.
Oh, Anthony, thanks for having us, man, and appreciate all you do for local sports, high school sports. It means a lot to these kids and the communities and coaches. We truly appreciate all you do. You do a fine job, my man.
Before we get into all the exciting stuff we have in store this year in McDonald, let's just have a little last year recap and some of the lessons that you think both coaching staff and returning players can take away from the things that they experienced last year.
Yeah, absolutely. We had one senior last year, and he was truly our leader in Wyatt Wolford, and he did everything that we could ask, and you want from a senior and a leader. But along with him, then we had eight sophomores that played major minutes there. So uh, coming back this year, now we have eight juniors that we think are ready to turn that corner. And last year we went 12-12 and 7-7 in the league. And um, Western Reserve got us three times, and our guys are feeding off that. And expectations are what we believe to be high, and with expectations come you got to be able to step up and play and do the right things.
When you have a season like that where you have one senior, and I'm not trying to downplay the importance of Wyatt because we all know how important he was as a leader on the floor. But when you're going through all that, every lesson has to be from a coach's perspective, like, hey, we got almost everyone back next year. Everything we're going through is going to be for a reason. What kind of feeling was that transitioning, knowing that everyone from last year minus the one senior was back and ready to go?
Yeah, we some of these guys have played since they were freshmen, and you wait to get to this point and hope it pays off. And um, as a coaching staff, I got two great coaches with me, with Coach Kirk Kuntz, who a lot of people know from the football in the area, with all he's done at Struthers, and he's been everywhere. And he went to the Miami Dolphins for 2 years, and that he just brings a wealth of knowledge of coaching in general, and he's able to pull these guys to the side and talk to them about anything that's going on, whether it's basketball related or not. And then Ryan Scala, he's been with me, played for us, and been with me since day one. So having guys like that care about our community, they both live in McDonald. Um, it means a lot, and we've prepared hopefully our guys for what's coming this year and the future here.
Let's meet the team. Why don't you go through your roster? Shout out the big names that we're going to be seeing all year on the court for McDonald.
Yeah, I mean we returned three guys that played, or actually we returned four guys that played major minutes for us last year. And on the football field, they're known. Drew Zajac and Casey Miller and Brady Klockner all played on the football side. They're three really good players, and they do a lot for us. Adding Joey Capizzello, who went to cross country state championships, finished 14th as a junior. These guys have kind of turned the corner and know what winning's about. We're hoping that carries over to this. We added two other guys that played a lot of minutes for us last year. Three guys actually: Brendan Emmerich, Jonathan Black, Chris Ragazine, all juniors as well. We're junior heavy. We have two sophomores that can play and throw a freshman into the mix. Joshua Crumpack, he's going to play immediately as a freshman. Brady Schobel and Mason Marvin as sophomores. And we had a kid transfer over from Lakeview, Anthony Larson, moved to McDonald. So he's a junior that will also, we're 11 deep. We really believe that at any night, all 11 guys can contribute.
When you lose a leader like you did in Wyatt, one of the big question marks is who's going to be that next guy that really steps up and takes the leadership role, guy or guys. Who are the players that you already see in preseason really starting to grab the reins of leadership and starting to lead these guys on the floor?
I would have to say that uh, our three captains would probably be Casey Miller, Drew Zajac, and Joey Capizzello. And the vocal leader of them three is truly Casey Miller. Casey's our point guard. He has the ball in his hand 75-80% of the time, and he really gets us going. And he gets in these guys, and he's he's a special player. He really is, and he's not very tall, and he it uses what he has and he's the best of his ability. And we have honestly, I'm so excited for this year. And listen, our schedule is not easy. I'm sure we're going to get into that, but it hopefully is going to prepare us for down the road here when we get to March. But I know that these 7, 8 juniors we have here are locked in and they're ready to go and turn that corner.
Let's talk about that schedule. Like you said, you teamed up beautifully, as if you've done this a lot before. Let's start with the league. Obviously, the MVAC very tough on the Scarlet side. You talked about Western Reserve; they got you last year. I'm sure you're circling that game a couple of times. Talk about the league though as a whole and how you see it shaking up.
I mean, honestly, it's got to be this got to be one of the better years in the league. Camel jumped to our side, and they're going to be really, really good. Um, so Camel, Springfield, Louisville, Western Reserve. I mean, any given night, I don't. Jackson Milton might have the best player in the league. Um, so it's every night's going to be a grind. And then what happened was we kind of stacked our non-conference schedule to kind of mirror that. And then I know I'm sure it's been talked about already, but with the switch of us playing on Monday and Wednesday, Monday, Thursday, the first half of the year, it really throws a twist into things with some non-league games on certain nights and then league games on certain nights. We're playing some back-to-backs that are going to be tough in that.
Yeah, and then let's talk about that non-league schedule that you teed up as well. Who are some teams that pop up on it that you think are really going to test yourself and challenge yourselves, get you ready for tournament time?
I mean, I think an early one. I mean, November 29th, the first Friday we play, we're at Bristol. I mean, we know how good they are, and they got a new coach, but things aren't changing with them. He's been there with them, and they return guys, got some guys back that had transferred out. Guards are good. I mean, it's going to be tough right off the get go. And then we play a few Northeast 8 teams. We go at Lakeview, at Hubbard. And the crazy thing is we play Hubbard on a Wednesday night, I think December 11th, and we turn around and play Springfield in our first league game December 12th at home. So that's a tough back-to-back there. We got Girard. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. Listen, as much as we have Western Reserve circled and these teams circled, I'm going to go on a limb and say a lot of teams have us circled to beat us and give it their go every time they play us. Especially these schools that are in bigger conferences and that means a lot to them.
Yeah, I think you're still having the target on your back from a couple of years ago when McDonald was the head of the table in basketball. You're not going to live that down for a while as a program.
No,
Um, let's talk about some of the things that you want to see in practices and scrimmages from your team before day one. What are some things that you're really trying to use these last couple weeks to get accomplished?
yeah, like we told our guys last night after we scrimmaged against. We went down to Crestview last night, and first off, hats off to Coach Mateo, Lou down there. I mean, he got those guys playing harder than I've seen in a while, and it was a test for us. It really was, and we've kind of gone on the road every scrimmage we've had so far. Tomorrow we play in the Warren Harding preview, the Steel Valley preview against Valley Christian. We have one home scrimmage against Struthers on the 23rd, and I mean these scrimmages are we're just trying to find the right mix of guys on the floor at the same time, getting who could give us a few minutes here, a few minutes there. And we try to tell these guys, we got 7, 8 guys that can score the basketball, but we need to find a couple guys that can get us stops on defense. We need who can handle it for a couple minutes, give a guy a break. They got to be able to do what they're good at, and not too much. Sometimes guys that come off the bench or haven't started before, they try to do way too much, and we don't need that. We got guys that can do everything. So don't do what you're good at, and practices have been so good, so competitive with 12, 13 guys that can really play. They go at each other pretty hard, and they know they're competing for playing time every night. So it makes it fun. It does. And when we're able to go hour and 45 minutes strong, I mean, nonstop, one thing to the next, really honing in on little things and trying to improve.
When you're in a preview, and I know that's kind of like the next step up from a scrimmage before a game. I mean, you get 2 quarters of as close to game type of action as you can. Some of the kids that haven't played on varsity before get to put on that uniform and see what it feels like to play in that level. What kind of things does a preview do for you? Maybe a scrimmage can't.
This is in my years as a head coach. This is my 11th year total overall, different places, but this is my first time playing in a preview, honestly. And I think it does give us that chance to see where we stand and how we could get a little sub pattern going for 2 quarters, and who can give us some minutes in a real varsity game. Um, Scrimmages are a little more laid back and that kind of thing. So and these guys, they're excited to put on that uniform and represent a strong community that McDonald is, and it really is a fun time. And we're going to treat it like a real game for 2 quarters. I mean, we're preparing for 2 weeks from today. We're at Bristol in a tough environment. If you haven't ever been there, it's a heck of a place to play. Great atmosphere. I mean, basketball is life there. So these guys, for some of them, it'll be their first experience of that. So it'll be fun.
Coach, earlier you talked about your staff, and we never let these interview goes without letting the coach just kind of highlight all the people that are around them that help them build up the program, because we know that you don't do it by yourself. So I want you to reiterate, maybe if you missed someone, or maybe if there's more people that
Yeah,
have really helped you build the staff, give them shout outs and make sure they get limelight for this interview.
yeah. First off, my 7th and 8th grade coaches mean a lot to us because they do so much down there and preparing our guys for the next level. I have Randy Riccatelli that's been with us for a long time here. And then Gregory Constantino, his first year, he played for us a few years back. They're running that. Man, all the guys at the youth program, I can't go through them all, but what they do to get these kids prepared, we've kind of tried to hone more in on skill work for our youth than just going out and playing basketball games. Because it's really important to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot when you get to the 7th and 8th grade level. Our administration at McDonald is unbelievable. Mr. O'Connell, Mr. Garquido, Josh Crumpack, RAD, they do so much and support us so much. Everything that we want to do and try to do, they're there for us. It means the world to us, and I appreciate those guys, and they know that. I try to tell them as much as I can. And then the other side of it is our boosters. Our boosters works hard. Jody Zajac runs our boosters, and they really do what they can to make sure our kids get what they want and what they need for them to be successful and have a good thing. But Anthony, the main, who really makes this go for me is my wife and my family. And I'm at 21 years. This is my 21st year coaching in a row since I was 19. I took 1 year off since I was 18. Been involved in this. Without them, I mean, every year I'm like, oh man, my kids are getting a little older. But my son's now 9. He loves basketball. My daughter, she comes around. My other son's 3. He absolutely loves being around. He loves going in the locker room. That my parents have always been my biggest supporters. Very seldom they miss a game. It's such a and I had great support at Struthers, Anthony, when I was there as a head coach, and I still teach here at Struthers, and I'm still involved in their basketball program. Their head coach is one of my best friends. So I've always had that family mentality, community everywhere I've been. And my in-law, thanks to YSN, my in-laws, they watch every single game. People go there to watch every game. It really, that this is more than just me or our players or the community. I mean, my family's fully involved and the community is fully involved. McDonald is a great place, and I honestly, I don't see myself coaching anywhere else other than McDonald.
Sure, it was pretty easy to set up that Struthers scrimmage being in the building, huh?
Yeah, that was an easy one. And Coach Aldridge is a good friend of mine. We talk every day. So, yeah, that was an easy one. And it's a good one for us both to end on before we get into our season.
All right, Coach, we want to thank you so much for coming on, talking to us about the program. We wish you the best of luck this year. We can't wait to see you out there and talk to you real soon.
Anthony, I appreciate everything you guys do at YSM, man. It means a lot to us. Thank you again.